Okay, here we go. Hi, Michelle. Welcome to the interview series.
Hi, Giovanna. Thank you so much for having me.
So excited to have you on, and I'm so excited about the work you do. And I just want to thank you in advance for being on here and contributing your energy and your vivaciousness to the series. So thank you. I'm going to tell the audience a
Thank
little bit
you.
about you. What was that?
I wanted to just thank everybody for listening, everybody for making time to come on and listen and just be a part of this because it's really a gem when we can make this time for ourselves. So I'm really grateful for everybody that's listening right now, too.
Yeah. Awesome. Great. Well, I'm going to tell the audience a little bit about you. I'm just going to read a little bit of your bio here and then we'll dive right in. So, audience, welcome. And I'll tell you a little bit about Michelle. Michelle is a PT. She is a woman on a mission to bring more love, peace, and sensuality on the planet as a highly intuitive facilitator of healing, whole self, and soul connection. Michelle combines her 19-year background as a physical therapist with her specialized trainings in integrative yoga therapy, belly dance, massage, therapeutic touch, shamanic energy medicine, cranial sacral therapy, energy psychology, and sound vibrational medicine. She educates and empowers individuals on how to use the mind and body to self-heal and manifest optimal health and vitality. Michelle bridges the gap between modern science-based methods and ancient wisdom approaches to facilitate major healing with minor effort. And in addition to working in her beautiful home city of Miami and Miami Beach, Michelle also works globally with her clientele over Skype. So, Michelle, let's dive right in and get some amazing information on how you view the body temple and tell us a little bit about your story first and how your journey was from losing yourself to finding yourself again.
Well, for me, it's funny because I discovered that I lost myself later on in life, and some things happened to me when I was young. My father moved away to another country when I was 12. My parents were divorced,
Mm-hmm.
and that was really painful for me. So I feel as though I lost my parts, parts of my heart. That was a big loss for me. And then also my first sexual experience was not a positive one. It was very traumatic for me. And I definitely later on in life discovered that I had dissociated, and it's been really hard for me in the past to be intimate, to have an intimate relationship with a man, and it was based on the trauma that I had experienced as a child, as a teen, preteen, 14 years old. So it's really interesting because I know that today that this was all a blessing because I've been able to help a lot of women. A lot of us, I think, feel abandoned. I think we feel shame and guilt, and sometimes we have problems with our boundaries and our bodies and respecting our bodies. So I have definitely done a lot of healing work, of connecting work inside, which actually that word healing today, I've just chosen to believe that I am whole and complete as is, and that's really transformed my whole life and the work that I do. So I'm actually revamping my website and transforming the services that I offer because the word healing implies that we're not whole.
Yeah.
There's something wrong, something I need to fix. So we're always whole. Yes, there's traumas and there's wounds and things that happen to us, but the more we stay connected to the feeling of wholeness and connection that we already are, the more we aim towards that and that experience of ourselves, it really does make everything so much easier. So when you say major healing with minor effort, we really are that incredible that we can shift and create miracles in our lives at the speed of light because we are energy. So I'm really grateful to say today that I did have all these traumas and these dramas, and to know at the same time that they're all based on what I'm choosing to believe.
Yeah.
I definitely had the people please disease, and a lot of the ways that I was thinking about myself was not helping my wholeness feeling and accepting and loving myself feelings. So shifting my perspective, my beliefs, and how I see myself, that's definitely an important component to the self-love, self-acceptance.
And it's interesting that, I smile when you say the people please disease, because it's such a common disease for women, right? Like we get this somewhere in our development. For whatever reason, it's individual for all of us. But, how did you see that sort of showing up in your life and even in your body and how your health, and, what was that doing to you, having that disease of people pleasing?
Well, I got burnt out. I felt resentful. I created all this myself based on these habits that I watched my parents do. I was not happy. I was exhausted and always tense, my shoulders, my neck, always chronic tension in my low back. And it was almost as though it's just this automatic subconscious pattern playing over and over and over, saying yes to everyone, not even asking myself if I wanted to say yes. This automatic need to get approval. And a lot of it is because of the lack of self-worth that I had, and I'm still working on it. Not feeling enough love within myself definitely contributed to me having to give so much so that people will love me. Yeah. So there's this misunderstanding of where to get the love. And now I definitely have rituals and practices in my life, and that's what I teach my clients, to give to ourselves, to feed our hearts ourselves. This way we can attract a person that wants to give us love instead of us feeling depleted and we have to do something to get love outside of ourselves. So we just become this beautiful, constant flow of love within ourselves. And then we feel so much more energized and lighter, and the body's a lot happier.
I love that. I love that. So it's like, it's not about the outside in. It's really about becoming that person who loves and appreciates herself. And then it just flows from the outside almost effortlessly. It's almost very magical because it's just happening from within out as opposed to the opposite. I love that. And I really love too the way, you talk about the body temple and about embodying feelings and emotions. And can you share with us a couple of, tips that the audience can use when they are feeling maybe a really painful emotion or even a body pain or something that is stuck within them?
Definitely. Well, the first way of relieving pain is to bring in more love. Love casts out pain. So the very first thing is to see ourselves as a temple. That really helps me out a lot. See ourselves as sacred. We're miracles. There's trillions of cells right now doing many different functions in our favor. Our body's always working in our favor. It's always getting rid of some cancer cell. Our immune system's always killing off a virus or bacteria. We're always sloughing off old dead cells. We're always digesting and processing. There's so many wonderful things working in our favor. And when we see ourselves as divine creations, that we are miracles, that we are brilliant, that we are beyond words, and just choose to opinionate ourselves that way, the body loves that. Just making that choice is the first step to really love your body temple. And then we can do things in a physical practice, not just with our thoughts, but with our actions. So, for example, just massaging yourself, touching yourself in a way that is loving, and combining that with an intention. So saying to your arms, I love you, arms. Thank you for all that you cook and clean and all the different things that you write and create, and rubbing your body in the shower with a sea sponge and some yummy soap. I love to use Molten Brown, and it just feels so good to give myself this gift every morning. I take a shower and it slows me down so that I can really be present with myself. And our body literally produces more love hormone, which is the healing hormone. It's the connection hormone. It's the hormone that makes us more sexually alive, and the creativity hormone, connection, focusing hormone. So touching ourselves is a really powerful practice, especially at the chest, connecting to our heart, and feeling our breath is a fundamental way to connect to ourselves, because we all want self-acceptance and we all want to be loved. So when we make time to breathe consciously and slow down and give ourselves unconditional loving breaths and being the witness of the sensations that we're having without any judgment, we're giving ourselves that self-acceptance. So we can do that right now. Everybody just close your eyes and put your hand on your heart. Let's all take a deep breath in, feeling ourselves expanding and elongating, the awareness inside of our essence of who we are, beyond our thoughts. Receiving more. So this is a way of practicing receiving more, taking a deeper, fuller breath and amplifying that by 10. Receiving more love. Something I like to teach my clients is to sniff 3 times. So we inhale, inhale, inhale. We pump up our hearts. We expand more. And then we let it all go. We can practice receiving fully. And then giving. Letting go.
Awesome. Awesome.
And that helps calm the nervous system. It's a great practice throughout the day.
Yeah, like, I mean, it does. It makes a big difference. And I love what you say, you know, the body, you're right, the body is constant. We're turning over like 10 trillion cells, you know, a second almost. It's just, things are dying off and being regenerated and reborn. So there is this miracle. But there are times when that, you know, that miracle goes drastically wrong, you know, where maybe there is illness or there is disease. And, you know, how can we communicate with the body, and how could we, you know, find out what's behind it, beyond the physical thing that's happening?
Well, we can also choose to see the body as a representation of our emotional body and our energetic body, our soul body. So looking at the body with gratitude for our pain and whatever else is going on, because our body is actually our friend, and it's trying to help us and teach us. And we can choose to just say, oh, thank you for that back pain. Thank you for that shoulder tension. I'm so grateful. What can I learn from this? What are you trying to teach me, shoulder? So having this relationship where we don't say, I hate you, low back. Why are you hurting me again? You're keeping me from getting what I want to get done.
Yeah.
So we put that pad, you know how they have those hot patches that
That's
you put
right.
on your back?
Yeah.
I told one of my clients, you know how you can tape your mouth shut, so be quiet, you know? So I was telling her how the patch, putting it on your back, is like telling your low back, shut up, stop telling me you're in pain.
Yeah.
But the back is actually very smart and trying to tell us something, and a lot of times we're not giving ourselves enough support. And the shoulders, a lot of times we have too many shoulds on our shoulders. I should do this, I should do that, I have to get that done. And we feel all this pressure on our shoulders. And that just, so the body, there's a whole practice of body talk, you know, where we look at the parts of the body, and there's some wisdom that we can get from those parts, like our gut feeling. For the people that have a lot of gut problems, they're not listening to their intuition. They're not honoring what they're really feeling. So they don't want to feel, because sometimes that truth, we don't want to acknowledge that. Sometimes we're in relationships that we really aren't jiving with, but because we've been in them so long, we get into this habit that it might not be the greatest relationship, but that's what I know. So that's for me to step out of that and go into the unknown, that's really scary. But the gut is saying, I don't like him. I don't want to do that. And then we just feed it more food, or we do things, you know, subconsciously we're so smart to tell it to be quiet.
That's right.
So this is the part where it's so helpful to listen, to just put your hand there and feel, touch it, rub it, move energy over that part. You know, with the stomach, we can just create circles and create motion there where we're having stagnation. Wherever you're having stagnation or you're feeling stuck, that's where belly dance is a beautiful practice, where we can move our shoulders and dance our shoulders and ask them, what are you teaching me? You're so wise. Thank you. Thank you for this attention. Because I know you're kind to me. So changing the relationship, and one of optimism, one of acceptance, instead of persecuting our body parts.
Sure. And like, you know, it's that idea that your body is sending you messages all the time about what's happening emotionally and what's happening internally. And, you know, it can be something as simple, like you said, as back or, you know, a shoulder pain, and that stress manifesting that way. And, you know, if we ignore it enough times, it can oftentimes become something more serious, you know, and something more, sometimes life-threatening if we've ignored something long enough. And so that's when we see disease and all kinds of other things. Yeah.
I mean, I work with people with anxiety. I work with people with depression, that have cancer, that have different physical and emotionally related challenges.
Yeah.
And I mean, consistently people say how thankful they are that they had this happen, because it woke them up.
Yeah.
It was a way of slowing them down. People that have fractured their feet, their legs, you know, it's interesting how the legs is a big wake-up call. So stop running, you know, stop, pause. These really successful people that I work with at Canyon Ranch that are CEOs and, you know, people in corporate America that come to do some slowing down there.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting how even the hand, the person that uses their hands a lot, and that's the part that is saying, I'm tired, you know, please listen to me. So literally sometimes the session is about them looking at that part and saying, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I hear you. I acknowledge you. And we're just going to have a juicy relationship now. We're just going to choose to connect and be celebrating life. And it's just making that decision. We work at the speed of light. You know, healing happens at the speed of light because we're energy. So it's really up to our mind to catch up to the energetic being that we are. And that's where it's so exciting, this work that I do, because it works, and it works quickly.
Yeah, I love that. And, you know, I've seen results myself using those types of techniques. And it's curious, you know, I think now that you just mentioned like the CEOs, and because they're so go and get things done, and they're very cerebral and they're very in their head, like how did they respond to you telling them, well, just, you know, love your wrist and like, what's their response to you?
The very first thing first of all, every person I work with is one-on-one, and it's for them. So that might not be appropriate for certain people, you know.
Yeah.
But a lot of the practices that I do are mindfulness practices and intention practices. So using our intention, changing our beliefs. That's where the energy psychology comes in.
Yeah.
And really, a lot of it is intuition. I feel people's aura, people's emotions. I'm very empathic, and I sense there's information that just comes in about the person when I'm working. And honestly, I pray for their highest good. So I literally ask God, ask Source, all the angels and saints, all the highest vibrations of love to come into the room, and may my thoughts, words, and actions be for their highest good. So I come in with that frequency of service.
Yeah.
And it's really amazing how the sessions are tailored for that person. So honestly, they feel welcome. They feel they can connect with me.
I love that.
It's not about me teaching something to somebody. It's about me just making them aware of themselves. So I look at myself more as a guide, a tour guide, into the adventure of yourself.
Cool.
Your soul. You know, I say soul, SOULF.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're really tapping into.
Yeah, cool. I love that, because, you know, I was thinking like, wow, how's the CEO going to really get that? But because it is intuitive and it's so individual, it's like whatever is working or speaking through you knows that that's what they need. And so they respond well.
I'm also a physical therapist, so I have this extensive scientific background, but I also am a yoga therapist, so I know about the mind-body connection and the breathing and the different, you know, philosophy. But honestly, I love to make things really simple for people. That's something I'm really passionate about. I'm very practical, and I just want the cliff notes. Give me what I need to know and the least amount of information. So this book that I'm writing right now, literally, I'm putting the intention, God, inspire me to put into this book the least amount of information with the most profound effect. Isn't that awesome to just read a book that has just the juiciest parts in the whole book?
Yeah.
And you don't have to take all this extra time, learn this whole new language. You know, this is the part where I really feel that is what's needed right now. We don't have time to, you know, I really feel that's what we have to focus on as if we really want to reach people and connect with people. So the things that I teach are really simple, but they work incredibly powerfully. And that's just because that's the intention that I have.
Yeah, excellent. And you're right. Like we are so strapped for time. And sometimes when, people, women in particular, think, oh, well, yes, I know if I work on this part of myself that things will be better, or I know if I do this and I focus here, it'll be better. But like, who has the time? And it almost feels like another thing that's on their to-do list when really, my belief is that should be the only, major thing on the to-do list is looking at yourself, but it doesn't have to be so difficult. It doesn't and it could be fun. Like it doesn't have to be like sitting down with a therapist and dredging up your childhood. Like there's fun things to do, which you do a lot of those. So tell us a little more about them.
Well, for example, singing is a really powerful way to connect to your soul, to connect to yourself, to your whole body. Because when you sing, your whole body vibrates. And the more we vibrate, the more we feel love. Vibration stimulates the love hormone. As I'm sure everybody out there hopefully knows what vibration does for you. But if you've done shimmies, when we shake our body,
Shake it
we
up.
just take time to do this. So you can do this right now. It literally is the opposite of chronic tension. It's the opposite of feeling stuck. I love that song by Taylor Swift. I'm so happy she created that song.
Which one?
Shake it up.
Oh, yeah.
Shake it up. Shake it up. So you sing that song, play that in the morning, and do your shimmies, shake your hips, shake your pelvis. We sit in chairs a lot, and our body loves to move. We were designed to move. There's cells that are moving constantly. We are vibration. We are molecules that are constantly moving. So when we vibrate, when we sing, when we dance, when we move, when we walk, when we make love, we're moving. So these are the things that we can do to align to what we are, which is love.
Yeah.
And love is moving. When we're in love, we feel so alive. So those are just different, really easy things that we can do is doing massage, touching ourselves, breathing consciously with our diaphragm, choosing to just believe that we are whole and complete, that we are goddesses, that our body is a temple, that we are so delicious and juicy, and choosing to believe that is the quickest way to overcome any obstacle. So if a person, for example, like the Olympic athletes, they're going to choose to believe that they won their gold medal already. So I think a lot of my path was about wanting to become something better. So this is why I have all these backgrounds. It really comes from my insecurity.
Yeah.
I got all these trainings over all these years, and what I've come to learn is that the most beautiful gift is when we can just be ourselves.
Yeah.
When we could just sit there and just be our total, authentic, comfortable self, then we're vibrating at this frequency of love because we are love. We are that. It's when we think that we need to fix something about ourselves that we're actually lowering our vibration. We're saying to ourselves, you're not yet good enough. You still got to do this one other thing. And then you got to go do this other thing. So there's something keeping us from being the celebration, the party. So for anybody that's wishing to change their lives or improve something, just pretend that you're already there. Feel that you're already there, that you're already good enough, that you're already fulfilled enough. And then letting go of all those expectations so that you can actually embody more what it is that you really are already.
Yeah, I love that. And I love the idea of having compassion for where you are. Like I just was with a client the other day and I was talking to her about this concept or the difference between, saying, okay, well, I realize that there's something about myself that I'd like to change, and just doing it from a place of improvement versus saying, oh, I hate this, and like I hate my thighs, or I hate this, and I have to lose weight, or I should do this. And it's almost like you're punishing yourself as opposed to just coming from a place of, well, you know what? I'm having compassion for myself. I still love myself. Yeah, I'd like to improve this thing and I'm going to work at it. But it gets such a different energy when you come from that judgment and criticism versus just wanting to improve, right?
Yeah, I have a 10-year-old daughter, and I tell my daughter all the time that we are love. So when we use love in every situation, we're actually aligning to what we are consistently. So for example, if I say, oh, I hate my thighs, I'm not hate, I'm love, and I thrive when I love. Hate is my ego. Hate is my identity of what I think I am. that's based on the lower mind. So if I just say, yay, I have this opportunity, I have an extra 50 pounds on me, yay, I get to work on focus, determination, really loving my thighs. And so looking at it from a place of love, excitement, acceptance, that's going to make everything move faster. You're going to shed that weight a lot faster because you're already relaxed. I think a lot of the weight gain and people that have a hard time losing weight is because they don't love their weight, so they're resisting that weight and not embracing their weight. So it's like a stop sign. It's a Bob's barricade, I say. We're going to get rid of the Bob's barricade today, and we're just going to love those thighs. So it's very healing to love the parts that you right now are not as excited about, and touch those parts and connect to those parts and ask for forgiveness, because your body wants to be loved by you, and it only really cares to be loved by you. Once you do that, everything feels so much more different, and it's a practice. Because sometimes we have resentment, we have anger, we have shame, and those emotional holding patterns, they literally are stuck in the body. So something I help my clients with, and I do this over Skype, is releasing the charge of these emotions that are not processed, that we walk around with. We walk around with banners. I don't like my thighs. I'm ashamed. I'm overweight. I can't lose the weight. I just can't. I can't. So that keeps us stuck. This is where belly dance is such a great way to loosen up and release, and also the exercises that I teach people. It's all meant to make us flow and flush and release and process so that we can feel lighter. Literally, people feel lighter after the session because we've rinsed. And the thing is, the body wants to flush. Your body is constantly flushing out toxins and things that's just the nature of who you are, is to release. So a lot of times it's the mind that is the anchor that's keeping everything from releasing.
Yeah, I love that. And, you know, you definitely inspire. Well, first of all, you've highlighted the difference between that fighting energy and the releasing, which is beautiful. And you've completely inspired me to go start taking belly dancing, because I love to dance. And just watching you move, it's like so sensual. But thank you so much I love it. Thank you so much for your energy. And like, it's like already 30 minutes. It's so fast. It's like a blink and it's over, and it's just so fast. But you've shared so much juice for us and so many amazing, great tips. So I really, really appreciate you being part of this series. And for the audience members that are watching, if you want to learn more about Michelle, you can go to www.michellealva.com, and you'll find out more about how she works, where she's located, and all of that. And just below this video, you're going to find a beautiful free offer that Michelle has generously offered just for you for watching. So thank you again, Michelle. I really appreciate your time and energy, like I said, and I love everything that you had to contribute.
Thank you, and I just want to say thank you so much, Giovanna, for creating this whole online series, and thank you to all the women that have right now listened to this interview and making the time to show up, to really love themselves and gain all the wonderful gems from all of these amazing speakers that are here. And definitely spread the word, women, tell all your friends.
Yes.
And let's get as many women feeling juicy and delicious and loving their body temples. Because when we do that, we're role modeling that for our next generation, for our children. And also we're shining light on everyone that sees us. So we become the change catalysts on this planet. So thank you so much to everyone.
Yes, beautiful message. Beautiful. Thanks everyone for tuning in. And Michelle, enjoy your evening and the rest of your night.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.